Hey there, Joe Polizzi again. Thank you so much for tuning in. A quick reminder that if you like this show, please subscribe at contentinc.io or your favorite podcast player. And do a good deed and pass it to a friend. Thank you so much. Just today, as I'm producing this, I'm reviewing the speaking submissions for Creator Economy Expo CEX, our event for serious content creators, May 1st to 3rd in Cleveland. See how I did that? Anyway, we received about 100 submissions this year, and most sadly, were terrible. I'm very sad about this. They didn't even have the basic blocking and tackling for speaking submissions. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, actually, I sent this podcast you are going to listen to a few people. I recorded it 7 years ago in 2015, and every bit of this is still true and relevant. I hope you enjoy it. When you get regular speaking engagements, people talk about you, they spread your message, and they want to actively do business with you. It's where the magic happens and cuts through all the gatekeepers. If you feel more public speaking can make a difference in your career and your business model, here are the top 5 ways to get more speaking gigs. The first is your proof of expertise. Now, if somebody asks you for proof of your expertise, what would you show them? Awards, perhaps? Maybe testimonials? Well, those are fine and dandy. These are secondary in today's world of absolutely everything being available on the web. As a conference producer myself, looking to choose the best speakers for our event, the first place I go to is the prospective speaker's blog. A consistently delivered blog is proof of both dedication and passion to the industry. Also, if done properly, the blog should be very quickly to show what your expertise area is. That means if you blog about all sorts of topics, it will hurt you. Get focused on what you can be the leading expert in the world at. Now, the second one is about writing a book. Now, a number of my friends and colleagues produce events. For more than half of them, they won't even approach someone to speak at their event unless they've written a book, whether it's self-published or published through a traditional publisher like a McGraw-Hill or a Wiley. So you can't even get a ticket to the ball in most situations without a book. So here's 2 ideas. My first book, Get Content, Get Customers, worked because of 2 reasons. The first one is I had a co-author. I partnered with another author, and in that case it was Newt Barrett, to divvy up the chore of writing a book. The second one is I used a strategy called blog to book. The majority of my section of the book was a compilation of 6 months of blog posts. If you plan your blog this way, the blog to book strategy is priceless. I've used this strategy twice now, and I cannot recommend it enough. Look at video examples. Now, for our event, Content Marketing World, I'm actually going through this now, well over 400 speaking submissions for our 2015 event. I was able to discount almost 200 immediately because they didn't have a link to a prior speaking event or some compilation or example of how they speak. Most conference planners won't sign on a speaker without at least seeing them speak in some capacity. That means if the speaker selection committee hasn't seen you speak and you don't have a proper example of your speaking skills in action, you will not get the gig. The fourth way is you need to find a hook. You need something to stand out and separate yourself from the pack. Why should anyone choose you? Why are you special? Here's a few ideas. Now, the first one is get a color. Now, orange is my color. Everyone knows this. I wear some form of orange to every event, whether that's a shirt, my suit, shoes, a pocket square, something like that. Social media expert Mari Smith uses turquoise as her color. She even decorates the stage sometimes before she talks around the color of turquoise. Now, if color is not your thing, maybe try a certain theme or even a costume. You need to do whatever it takes to get additional attention. The second point here is you need an elevator pitch. Can you very quickly state what you speak about? Is it on networking for shy people or how financial companies can grow without advertising? Don't ever say you can speak on anything. That really means you can speak on nothing. Refine your pitch that encompasses your niche. The last point here, and maybe the most important, is focusing on your hit list. So many public speaking wannabes talk to me about wanting to speak more often. And when I ask, what are the top events you'd like to speak at? You'd think I'd ask them to recite the Apostles' Creed. If you don't have a clear vision of where you want to speak, where your audience is, then you don't want it bad enough. Now follow these steps. 1 is create your event bucket list. Have a list of at least 10 events where your target customer will be attending. 2, find out when speaking submissions are due for each event and develop a calendar around that. 3, contact each one using the proper channels. Do not send an email outside the form. Event organizers hate that. Make sure you have a clear vision for your speech, where it could be placed, why it's a good fit, how long it will be. Include a link to your video. Event planners dislike uncertainty the most, so make sure you are specific and take out all the guesswork. And the 4th point, share your terms up front. If you require travel expenses paid, say that now to avoid conflict later. You'll be cutting yourself out of some events, but if that's your deal, that's your deal. So look, there's no perfect system here, but if you follow this process, I can pretty much guarantee that you'll get more speaking gigs, and it will absolutely change your business for the better. Oh yeah, and just a reminder, we have all this TikTok banning stuff going on. We have Twitter and Elon. Remember, the business decisions you make do not build your content house on rented land. Be prepared for the worst, and you'll be the best. Good luck.